Travis Kelce is back. Tyler Warren not running at the combine. Elijah Royho not running at the combine. How are we going to win tight end in 2025? That and much more coming up right now.
It's Short King summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King summer.
Good morning, everyone. Maybe good afternoon where you are at. Good evening, good afternoon, good day to you, sir. Got some good stuff going on here. Update to the Draft Caddy. So if you are subscribed to the Draft Caddy, you use that on Firefox, you use that in Google Chrome. There is a new update. You can grab your exposures now. You can toss in your rankings, which I have done, tossed in my rankings, also tossed in the updated rankings into the Sidekick. So we got that going on. We got a lot of stuff going on. How are you all doing on this fine morning? The sun is shining here in St. Louis, Missouri. Feeling great about that. It is going to be cold this weekend. I was hoping to be able to get out and golf. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But, I think, frankly, the two biggest news pieces of this combine cycle have been Stafford to the Giants. That feels like definitely what the Giants want to have happen. Now, does Matthew Stafford want to have that happen? Pretty unclear. And Travis Kelce returning to the Chiefs. You know, that really feels like the two biggest things. Now, the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are going to have lots going on. We're going to have, we're going to have all these times. We're going to have interviews. We're going to have this guy met with this team and didn't meet with this team, all that stuff. Yes, even good afternoon to those in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, which is basically, by the way, speaking of this, where Pat Mayo lives. Basically, if you look at the time zone in which my friend Pat Mayo inhabits, he basically lives in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, just very north. I've never heard he's the only person I've ever known who lives in the Atlantic time zone. All right, well, there we go. Without further ado, I think that we all know why we're here. We are here for the road to 250,000. We are going to be hopping in the big board, $250,000 to first place, and we are going to be trying to answer the question: is Travis Kelce the secret to fantasy football? He very well might be. I think there is a very real opportunity, a very real chance that Mr. Kelce is in fact the secret to fantasy football in 2025, or maybe he's not. On the other hand, maybe he very much is not. Wow. And the Influencer 101 to begin the morning, you can't complain about that. You can't complain about the Influencer 101 to start the day. So this is a nice little feature that we've got. We've got the exposure tracking now in the Draft Caddy. So I'm excited about that. Look, we've got so now I don't have to go check the exposure page. I can actually just know how much I've got of each guy, which is very nice. Michael, I frankly, I would agree with you if Mr. Kelce was at his usual rates, but he's not. Travis Kelce is the tight end 10 in average draft position. He goes at pick 113. Let's just see some of the players who go right around 113. These are some of the players that Travis Kelce is going after. Rashad Bateman. I'm going to take Jamar Chase here, 101. He's going after DeAndre Swift. Travis Kelce going after DeAndre Swift. I don't know, boss. I don't know. I think there's a very good opportunity that Kelce is in fact our guy. And I need to check the number. What number big board is this? This is big board 83. Wow. Big board 83, man. We're gonna, frankly, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. We are gonna have to slow the pace down. The streams are either gonna have to be shorter, or we're gonna have to start streaming other stuff, because I am well ahead of the pace, because this is big board 83 of 150. So I don't have that many left. So we're gonna have to start doing I guess we're gonna have to start doing dynasty content. We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to figure something out. Rusty just got an ad telling him that State Farm is charging him too much for insurance. Well, how about that, Rusty? Yeah, suddenly these 20-minute drafts not optimal. I guess we might have to do a bigger board. We might have to do a biggest board. Here is the issue. Those are expensive. We will have a War Room 2. We'll probably have a little board too, I would imagine. How close is the little board to filling, actually? Let me check and see. Frankly, Burgundy Bets, if I was not streaming these, I would be done with the big board already. True, we do have the college best ball. All right. Looks like the little board is little board. I have 8 left, and it is 68.5% full. So the issue is, here's the issue. Everyone who wants to max the little board has already maxed the little board. So the fill rate of the little board is going to stall out pretty hard, because all the sickos who want to be in the little board, they're already in it, right? All right. We've got Chase. Frankly, I am just sick of the Jamar Chase T. Higgins combo, so I'm not going to do it here. Maybe I'll pull someone up. What's a weird turn thing we can do here? All right, I'm going to take Breece Hall, and I'm going to take Trey McBride. We're just going to do a weird build. We're going to do Jamar Chase, Breece Hall, Trey McBride. Exactly. You've either done 50 little boards, or you've done 5 or 0. Yeah, Zeus has already maxed little boards. Nick says he's saving 10. I agree, 100%. 100%. They should have made it 150 max. Jamar and T together feel fine. Oh, I just realized something. I'm not signed in to the Sidekick. I'm gonna have to fix that. Can't have that, folks. Oh, you got plenty of time left, Mr. Skull. Plenty of time left. I don't have my banner up for patreon.com/DavisMattek. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, which I assume you are, I guess some of you guys listen to this on the Grinding the Variance podcast feed. The YouTube store is now visible if you are literally on YouTube. So if you are on if you're on the app, if you're on your phone, you can just right beneath the video, the Davis Mattek Fantasy Football mugs and t-shirts are live there. Actually, yesterday, Mr. Zach Lenars sent me a nice little t-shirt design. So there's going to be Slappy t-shirts listed on youtube.com/DavisMattek. So if you're really begging to find a t-shirt that calls you a Slappy, we got that in stock. It's coming up soon. So we have Chase, Breece, McBride. Zabs to my right did Barkley, Bucky, Jacobs. Frankly, I hate it. I think that's brutal. Over the Rhine has Jefferson, T. Higgins, and Garrett Wilson. Jefferson and T is a really strong pairing because you have obviously you have the leverage on Chase, which is really nice. Nick did Nico, pretty strong. KJ did Lamb, AJ Brown, DJ Moore. pretty strong starts. Those are tough starts to battle against, right? Those 3 wide receiver starts, especially, like, just imagine that 3 wide receiver start, that CeeDee, AJ Brown, DJ Moore start, and then you add in Caleb Johnson, but Caleb Johnson hits. Those teams are going to be very tough, I think, to handle in the big board finals. You know, I think those are very likely. Yeah, there's buzz for Hampton in the first round. I mean, there's buzz for a lot of these guys in the first round. I think rightfully so. I mean, again, you know, that is very much my opinion, but the buzz for this group of running backs has not stopped for the entirety of the season. You know, all right, so I need to get signed in to the Sidekick, so I'm gonna have to switch windows here for a second. There we go. GM Jake, how we doing, brother? How are we feeling, man? Is everyone having a nice little great morning? I hope so. I had a life-changing experience yesterday. My wife grabbed some cauliflower rice from the store. You know, I'm trying to cut. And man, it was delicious. So good. Absolutely smashing some cauliflower rice. All right, I need 2 wide receivers on this turn. So we're going to take Jalen Waddle, and we are going to take Jordan Addison and hope to get lucky at running back. We're pretty far behind the wide receiver there. Frankly, you could make an argument to take Olave over Waddle, but it's fine. Can you pull up a filthy team from the first few days where ADP makes it not possible anymore? Yeah, we can do that a little bit later, brother. We can do that. Can't promise you we're not going to do it in the middle of the draft, but we will. Although, frankly, I mean, who knows? The epiphany was not that I did not touch grass. No, that was not the epiphany. Had a nice little afternoon skateboarding with my buddies last night. Yesterday evening. Oh, Cody. So it looks like they responded to my email, huh? And again, for those of you who are members of the YouTube channel, I got an email from the Discord people. They said from their perspective, they cannot see any reason why the Discord is not working. So if you are a YouTube member, if you connect, maybe you need to disconnect and reconnect, but according to Discord, there is no issue between the Davis Mattek YouTube members Discord and YouTube and Discord. Seems unlikely I'll get boxed out at quarterback here because I've got McCarthy, I've got Waddle, I've got Kyler. Seems unlikely to get boxed out at quarterback. How would I be getting boxed out at quarterback here? I mean, I guess someone could take McCarthy in like the 9th round, and that could box me out, but I don't think so. I wonder if Jordan Addison is being a little bit underrated by the market. That would kind of be my opinion, that Jordan Addison is getting underrated by the market. You know, he second fiddle, quote unquote, to Justin Jefferson for the 2 years of his career. This man has 19 touchdowns on 207 targets. Now, you might be saying, well, Davis, that's ridiculous. He surely cannot keep up that touchdown pace. What you find is that actually guys who are very efficient touchdown creators early on in their career actually are much more likely to be big touchdown creators late in their career. In fact, let's run us a little filter over on stathead.com, one of my favorite websites on the internet. Yeah, so Bayshell 210, if you have the patreon.com/Davis Mattek rankings, you probably get a good bit of him. He is going to run he's probably going to run like a 4.33 at 220 pounds. And he also was like a real legitimate workhorse in college. So I think there is every reason to believe that 210 has a chance to be, a third round pick, maybe an early day 4 pick, but I like him quite a bit. All right, I'm going to run a filter for the last 20 years, last 15 years on StatHead, wide receivers with more than 20 or more I'll call it 18. Oh, I'm on the clock. This will be nice. Can do a little bit of... we'll do a Judkins here. And we will do... I'll give myself another quarterback. We'll take Pearsall. So we have got Jamar Chase, Breece Hall, Trey McBride, Jalen Waddle, Jordan Addison, Quinshon Judkins, and Ricky Pearsall. Pearsall, one of the big risers in the most recent rankings update. I have no idea. Not very high, probably. Jordan Addison and Jordan Whittington have absolutely nothing in common. My least favorite meta for the big and little boards is how far you have to reach to ensure QB stacks. Yeah, no, it's true. No, I would say not a Guerendo type. I think Guerendo he really only played 1 year in college. I think more. I believe 210 weighs more than that. Yeah, I think he's listed at 209. I think we might see him weigh in at more than that. It's true. They are both named Jordan. All right, I got to run this filter and then I'll share it. I got to run it in the other tab. So we're going to do targets less than 225. And we're going to go touchdowns greater than 15 in the regular season of the last 2 years. Oh, and I need to do biographical filter, year of player's career, first and second. And then I will share this in the other tab. T-Bear, why don't you explain anything that Jordan Whittington and Jordan Addison have in common? I would love to hear you explain how the 5th round rookie who was 4th on his college team in receiving yards has anything in common with Jordan Addison, who has been was a 4-star recruit, a 1st round draft pick. I think you're not comparing these players properly. But maybe you know something I don't, brother. Many such cases of people knowing things that I do not know. All right. Share results. Here we go. These are, this is a crazy list of players, actually. So this is combined seasons, 2010 to 2014, first to second season, wide receiver requiring less than 225 targets and more than 15 touchdowns. This is an insane list. Make sure I don't miss my pick here. So we have got AJ Brown, that guy's pretty good. Julio Jones, that guy's pretty good. Tyreek Hill, heard of him. He's quite good. Jordan Addison, the player we're talking about. Jaden Reed, pretty good player. Sammy Watkins. Okay, we're getting to the borderline. Calvin Ridley, very good until he got suspended. Allen Hurns, all right, there we're going. We're starting to get into the questionable territory. Torrey Smith, huge win. Dez Bryant, huge win. Hollywood Brown, I guess you could go either way on that one. And then Martavis Bryant, who was always very good, but big discipline issues. True. Addison's best accomplishment is getting Kenny Pickett drafted really high. Watkins was incredible in his prime. Pathans likes the bait title. All right. Yes. Absolutely. All right. So we are going to get Kyler. So that's a huge win. WFN was worried I was going to get boxed out at quarterback. I will not be getting boxed out at quarterback. We have selected Kyler, and feels like this is a huge fall for Aaron Jones. I mean, this feels awesome. Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm taking Aaron Jones. I need a wide receiver more, but I'm not going to look this gift horse in the mouth here. Aaron Jones at pick 97. All right, bang. There we go. I mean, Brian, I assume yes. I assume they will do another smaller NBA contest. But what is the current fill rate on the dance? I assume the fill rates are related. That was a nice little turn right there. I can't see them either. I will give out one play. Matthew Golden lower than 4.41 for the 40. Matthew Golden lower. If Matthew Golden does, I'll just say this. This is my logic. 1, Matthew Golden plays fast. 2, if Matthew Golden is not able to beat a 4.41, he should go to jail. I mean, he basically Matthew Golden should have spent every waking moment for the last 6 weeks training for the 40. I mean, I'm worried that the Giants sign a different running back, but yes, that is why. Rumor on the internet, Chiefs signing Trey Smith, 4 years, $23 million. Jared, I do not know anything about college basketball, but my good friend, Alex Harden, who is he's basically a genius. He's one of the biggest winners in DFS. He heads all the college football stuff over at college football and college basketball over at Establish the Run. That's where their product is. He is going to be coming on in the I assume pretty soon, actually. I assume within the next couple days, we are going to do the college best ball tournament that they have up on Underdog. We are going to do some drafts together. Golden is a Rashad Bateman ass pick. Well, I don't even really love him. I just love him in this contest that we're drafting right here. That's all. Matthew Golden going behind Jacoby Myers and Josh Downs when he's very likely going to be a first round pick. I mean, that is my read on the situation. In fact, I just messaged him back right now because he sent me a message yesterday that I never responded to. So there we go. We're booked. We're set up. Ooh, the best David bar flavor. It's the only ad. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Michael. They're not that good, relatively speaking. I think the chocolate chip cookie dough is my favorite. But I would say if you want the best flavored protein bar is not David. It's just that David bars are 150 calories, 28 grams of protein, which is about as good as you get from something that is not just like raw tuna. How many touchdowns will Golden score this year? I don't know, brother. Like 7? Peanut butter crunch and blueberry are good per Clay. Okay. All right. Let's see. What do we need here? I have got a 1-3-4-1. I am kind of in jail at wide receiver, and I'm kind of in jail at quarterback, so this is going to be interesting. I think what we do, we definitely take Kirk here, right? No, I'm going to do something. I'm going to take Love. And then I'm going to take... Well, I was going to take Kraft. All right, no. We're going to do Love. And we're going to do Leggett. And I'm going to set up another quarterback is what I'm going to do. Don't have very much of any of those guys. I'm down for a speed draft. I think I'm only all right. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I think I'm only gonna do 3 today because I actually need to slow the pace down. I missed that Kraft went, Nick. That's really all it is. I just straight up missed that Tucker Kraft was gone. I was about to do that double tap button. But I think Jordan Love has a better range of outcomes than the market is giving him credit for, actually. He's got a fairly decent... I mean, Jordan Love, one, has shown the ability to run a little bit, and that's the thing, is you can get... I will be able to get one of Dubs or Wicks, and also I think the Packers, this is, if you guys are drafting a lot of these, this is something you should be conscious of. This range of wide receivers right here: Royals, Restrepo, Besh, Higgins, Io Manor, Savion, Tez Johnson won't be, but the Packers are going to take a wide receiver in the second round. So you just need to get lucky with which one they take when you take Love. And then you've got yourself like a secret little stack. Kyler and Love could be fine for a 2 quarterback room. I'm mostly taking 3 quarterbacks, even when I have 2 that I like, just because of the extra roster spots. And a 3rd quarterback, even in 18-man stuff, if you look at some of the studies that people have done, I know that my guy Easy has done some. I know that Leone has done these. A 3rd quarterback adds points to your rosters more than you would expect. Yes, Jalen Royals is a Packers ass pick, 100%, Mr. Chuck Cheese. Well, exactly. The Packers take a wide receiver in the 3rd round again, but it's Jalen Royals, right? Exactly. You know, it's Jack Bash. It's definitely not Tez Johnson. Tez Johnson is not a Packers archetype. So the thing I was debating with myself was actually taking Travis Hunter there, where I took Leggett. Have you guys seen these tweets the last couple days about how many scouts or teams viewed him as a wide receiver versus a cornerback? I tweeted this yesterday. I will share it here. But we've got Destin Adams tweeted this yesterday. I've talked to multiple scouts this week in Indianapolis, and all but one have said their team is listing Travis Hunter as a wide receiver on their board. So I'm going back again. You know, I'm now recanting yet again on Hunter. I moved him down my rankings. I moved him up my rankings. Well, yes, I'm sure that is what Travis Hunter would say. Oh, I want to play all the snaps. All right, so this is nice. Evan Ingram is quite a nice second tight end with this group, in my opinion. And then we just take Dontavian Wicks, and we get our little stacky stack. So we now have Kyler Murray stacked with McBride, Love with Wicks, a running back room of Breece, Judkins, and Aaron Jones. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Legette, Dontavian Wicks. We got a bunch of... so we've got McCarthy live. I actually would have double tapped Purdy and Kyler if it would have been available to me. So if the Packers take that second round wide receiver, do you think it changes ADPs on Wicks and whoever? I think my opinion, coolers, would be that it is baked in. Yeah, that's my opinion. I think because frankly, if you just did projections with their three wide receivers, being Wicks, Dubs, and Reed. Reed, I think actually, really, Reed should be a little bit lower, and Dubs and Wicks should be way higher up. Now, I think the market is doing the correct thing by assuming there is going to be at least one, if not multiples, right? If not multiple guys in there. The interesting thing is what happens if they sign one of these free agents. Now, Green Bay doesn't really do that stuff, but what if they signed one of these free agent wide receivers, not even a good one, right? Not T, not Godwin, but what if they sign DeAndre Hopkins? What if they sign Darius Slayton? What if they sign Deontay Johnson? I mean, that is very un-Packers. They could sign, you know who they could sign? They could sign Josh Palmer. They could be the Josh Palmer team. Because Golden is going to go way earlier in the NFL draft than Harris. Might go 60 picks ahead, actually, of Trey Harris in the NFL draft. Matthew Golden, I think, could go as high as 12 in the NFL draft. You don't gotta like it, but it is the case. You know, you don't gotta like it, but it is what it is. Trey Harris, what's Trey Harris's combine time listed at on Underdog? 4.5 or whatever. 4.54. Well, Benny, it's interesting you would say this. He said, I don't think LaFleur wants to use Dusty Vetts a wide receiver at all. I think that is his philosophy. But his team, I mean, really the flaw with the Packers was their wide receivers. I mean, all their wide receivers sucked for them last year. Wick sucked. Reed sucked. Dobbs was unreliable. I mean, Dobbs is probably their best wide receiver. Actually, their best wide receiver was Watson. I can see why you would think that this is true, but I think something that you will learn is embracing humility when you are drafting this early is very likely to benefit you, Chirath. I think the idea that you know better than these guys who are that plugged into the NFL, I think you will be dismayed at how unlikely that is in general. All right. So we've got our two tight ends. We definitely need one running back here. I guess let's just take the ADP value with Corum. And all right, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I said Jalen Royal is likely a Packer, so let's do that. We have got Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Breece Hall, Quinshon Judkins, Aaron Jones, Blake Corum, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Legette, Dontavian Wicks, Jalen Royals, Trey McBride, and Evan Ingram. No, because this is quite literally not the point. Going back and quote unquote fact checking someone's mock drafts or big boards is particularly not the point, because our job as people who are trying to win $250,000 in the big board is not to say, Dane Brugler actually missed on his talent evaluation of this defensive tackle. What we want to know is, what does the NFL think about these players? What are people who are talking to Dane Brugler, who are talking to Todd McShay, who are talking to Mel Kiper Jr., who are talking to these reporters, what are they saying about NFL players, and why are they saying it? Why would a scout for the Dallas Cowboys say, actually, we kind of like Matthew Golden? Why is an assistant tape watcher for the Cincinnati Bengals? See, and this is not how human relationships work. It's just not how interactions work. It's not how reporting works. But mostly it's just not how humans behave. You know, if you extend this out further, then you would basically be like, well, why would anyone ever tell Adam Schefter the truth? Why would anyone ever tell Shams the truth? Why does Shams Saranya's job exist if there's never any incentive to be truthful? Of course there's incentive to be truthful. There's always incentive to be truthful, because if you give a guy good, truthful information, you are then able, in response, to use that man for your own purposes in the future. There is always give and take in human relationships. If you take everything at face value, yes, it is not always going to be super valuable to you drafting. I'm not saying, Matthew Golden is definitely going at 12. I'm not even saying Golden is definitely a first-round pick, but you got to read the waves. Because if you're not reading the waves, effectively you're drafting blind. And maybe, I don't know, maybe drafting blind is better. Or whatever. The best possible outcome of mock drafts is to predict how drafts... 100%. I can agree with that. Brother. Yeah, you can decide, like Chirath, you could be like, you know what? I think Golden sucks. I watched a bunch of Texas football. I think Golden sucks. I think he's unlikely to be a first-round pick. And if he is a first-round pick, he's likely to be a Philip Dorsett style first-round pick where he doesn't matter for fantasy football. That is a totally defendable position to take, I think. All right, do I take Carr or Dart? When you already have Kyler Murray and Jordan Love, I think you take Carr. We need another running back. Sidekick wants Besh. I am definitely trying to bring the Kendre Miller entry fees down. That's a lot of You know what? Let's do my boy. I'm speaking on it. Let's take 210. I think this will be I think this will frankly be one of the biggest risers. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong, but I think 210 is likely to be one of the biggest risers. So I'm getting some cheap 210 while I can. Unstacked Carr. That's a no-no. The funny thing about Carr is, I mean, he's definitely not likely. I mean, I think he's like 87% to be a Saint, but it's certainly not a lock. And I think that is totally a fair way to evaluate it, that these things could lead you astray. My opinion is that, I mean, I think Golden can play. So if we're just coming at it from a different spot, I think Golden can play. So if you don't think Golden can play, if you watch Golden play football and you're like, I don't really see it with him, totally reasonable, totally fine. But I think he can play. Now Bond, you could definitely convince me cannot play. In general, you could definitely convince me that Bond is just like not an NFL player. That I could conceivably believe. The thing that is interesting about Golden is that he was pretty good at the University of Houston before he transferred. He just played for a shitty team. Like Clayton Tune, was his quarterback when he was a freshman, and he played with Tank Dell. He was teammates with Tank Dell as a true freshman, and then the next year he took over the Tank Dell spot, and the quarterback play got a lot worse. He was also banged up. He got injured. Bond equals Waddle. Hadn't heard that one, but I accept it. Isaiah Bond, a tall J.J. Nelson. Well, that'll take you back. J.J. Nelson. Only real ones remember J.J. Nelson. I mean, maybe I should have taken Dart there. Crane's in my head a little bit with the Dart stuff. Crane was not big on the Dart selection. If I was autoing, I would set my positional limits to 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, and 3 tight ends. And frankly, I think I would like my teams if I autoed, actually. I wouldn't do it just because I have the time. But Ted McMillan equals the Christian Watson of our hopes and dreams. I can see that. Yes, Nick, you definitely could argue this, that Carr is less, I mean, just by injury, by the team is terrible. A lot of reasons. Yeah. Cardinals wide receiver room with like post-peak fits, Michael Floyd, Smokey Brown, and J.J. Nelson. And David Johnson was on that team. Crazy team. All right, we have 2. I'll probably save tight end for the final pick because we took McBride. So we need 1 more wide receiver. We need 1 more running back. This is probably a good Jalen Tolbert team. I can shoot the moon a little bit more. Maybe I've earned myself a Ricky White. All right, let's do running back first. Give myself more time to think. Running back room, we need an adult. I think this is a Keaton Mitchell team. We're going to do Keaton Mitchell to add on there. Wide receiver. You know what? Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel fits the build, I think. trying to even out that exposure between Elijah Moore and Curtis Samuel. You are just courting a lot of variance with the 3 rookie tight end room. I don't think it's terrible, but you're courting variance pretty heavily. What are players you've gotten excited about for a few days, then backed up? I'll tell you, number one, Kendre Miller. There was like 4 days where I took Kendre Miller every draft, like 4 drafts in a row. And I was like, you know what? I think the value proposition is fine there, but it's Kendre Miller. We're talking about year 3. This guy has done absolutely nothing. Well, Mr. Johnson, the thing about autoing the little board is I only have 8 more little boards left, and I might need to use them for content is the issue. I might, because I think one of the things I want to start doing is on Saturday to have a draft video up. Yeah, shocking. Hunter won't work out at the combine. These guys are never gonna work out. There's nothing they can do. I mean, maybe you know what they could do? They could do like a contest where it'd be like, oh, if you run the fastest 40, you win $250,000. Or if you do the most reps of the bench press amongst your positional group, you win $50,000. Like, how hard would the wide receivers train if the most bench press reps at 225 won $50K? If you run the fastest 40, we'll name an island after you. Well, I definitely tell you they wouldn't do it for charity. You know, no disrespect to Travis Hunter, and I'm sure he wouldn't take this. That's the thing. There just is this is a classic. You show me the incentives and I will show you the consequences. And the consequence of, like, imagine Travis Hunter goes to go run the combine tomorrow and he runs a 4.6. Can you imagine how shitty that would be? I mean, his whole life would be ruined by running a 4.6. There is, and you know, I wish it was mandatory. Obviously, I mean, for me, the main reason I wish it was mandatory would just be so that we have data to compare all these guys. But it's just not going to happen. I mean, not only that, these guys don't even always play in college. Like JSN, people kind of forget about this. JSN basically suffered like a light hamstring strain in college, and that was it. You know JSN's final collegiate tally. True freshman season, 10 receptions, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Has the crazy sophomore season. You know what he did his final year at Ohio State? 5 receptions, 43 yards. These guys don't even, not only do they not have to work out at the combine, some of them don't even really have to play college football. Jackson Smith and Jigba played 23 games in 3 seasons and then said, I'm out. And it worked, and he was a first-round pick. So there really is not a solution. All right, I will add on to my gunner helm position. Has anyone seen is Mr. Helm working out? Is Mr. Helm going to be doing the drills? He probably will. He can't really cost himself much money. So let's do that. We added Gunner Helm into the room. Richardson made himself a ton of money at the combine. That's true. Some guys will make themselves a lot of money at the combine. But they know going into it that they are going to make themselves money. All right, Mr. Helm added to the list. Let's head back into the lobby.
The Davis Mattek YouTube channel is made possible by viewers like you. Every subscriber, memby, and super chat goes to ensuring Davis doesn't have to work at State Farm. Thank you.
I love that. I love that little transitional video so much. It's so good. Gunner is doing combine drills. Okay. All right. Done. We're in. Saw a tweet today that our boy Aronde Gadsden is listed at -150 to be the fastest 40 time amongst the tight ends. So he might be a sneaky RAS guy. You know, he could end up having you know, what, like he could have an 8 RAS potentially. No, I think Hunter was a better prospect, Stefan, than Odunze and Brian Thomas Jr. I think he would have been the wide receiver 3 last year. Well, Mark, you win some, you lose some. I apologize though. My timing was, I put the timestamp in while I was in there. I think that Cooper Kupp, my answer is that I think that Cooper Kupp goes to the Washington Commanders. That seems most likely to me. I think the Rams actually are fairly possible. KOC and Kupp have the connection. They have a real need for a third wide receiver. I think that I believe Kupp. I believe it's a situation where the Rams would actually be on hook for most of his money. I need to look at this. Cooper Kupp gets traded. Let's look at this. After I make this pick, we'll pull the Cooper Kupp Spotrac information up. Lamb before Puka. Okay. Looks like I'm a little light on Neighbors. Don't love that. Don't like to be a little bit light. All right, I'm a little bit light on Neighbors. I'm not going to pass up on Puka. I was about to say I'm a little bit light on Neighbors, but I'm not passing up on Puka. Cooper Kupp. If Cooper Kupp is traded, the Los Angeles Rams will save $12.5 million. If he's a post-June 1st trade, they can save $20 million. And Cooper Kupp is still going to get his money. So Cooper Kupp will still get paid $12.5 million. The issue, the tricky thing about Kupp is that his deal has 2 more years left on it. So that is a little bit, it's a little bit more difficult to trade him to a team that wants to compete. Although the Vikings are about to save a bunch of money. Damn, 1 second is going to take Genty here, which is just so frustrating because I would absolutely love to get Genty after ADP, but it's not happening. Oh, wow. What a gift. Okay. Happy to take Genty there. Great question. How are Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard going to impact Puka's ceiling? Wow, 1 second wants 0 shares of Genty. My man is living dangerously. I will say this. This tournament is going to be the last chance to get Genty not in the first round. Trying not to drop the baby here. It's obviously it's fine to have none of him, but the opportunity to grab him at this price will be headed to zero very quickly. Yeah, well, Coolers, you make a great. I think last year taught us the more injuries you have, the more taking 0% of someone can be a bad idea. It's true. People do forget this. Cooper Kupp did have a 2.10 yards per route run last year. Henry over Genty. I mean, not for me, but I get the thought process. You know, I think that is fine. I disagree with it, but of course, I'm the same idiot who didn't draft Barkley or Henry last year. So what do I really know about ball? It's true. Yeah. Can mean you can get two of St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr. neighbors at the 1-2 turn. Yeah. I just like when people start doing their projections and the Dallas Cowboys running room is, Deuce Vaughn, Ashton Genty, and I don't know, Raheem Sanders. It's just going to be very hard. I'm going to take Worthy. No, I'm not. I'm actually going to take DJ Moore. I'm going to adhere to ADP a smidgen there because I think there is a chance that Worthy comes back to me. Genty, A-Chain, Henry. I mean, I think that is how I have them ranked. Seems reasonable to me. So we have got a Puka Nacua, Ashton Genty, DJ Moore start. And I just need to hope. Well, actually, I don't know what I was thinking. There's no way Worthy comes back to me. But it would be sick if he did. What I need is two of these guys behind me to take a quarterback. Not going to happen, but it would be nice. True. Hunter Lupke. Hunter Lupke will not get any goal line stuff if Genty's on the team, but he will probably get some third downs. That is probably true. All right, Worthy goes. It was a nice thought, Davis. It was a nice thought. It's always possible. I do wonder, Worthy will probably be one of those guys who steadily creeps up throughout Best Ball Mania. You know, his stuff is going to increase bit by bit as the Rashee Rice news is bad. It's so funny. We do always double count these things. Oh man, I hate this pick. I really, these are like some of my least favorite spots to do. Well, I was going to take Rome, but I will take Jameson Williams. Genty, Puka, Moore, Jamo. So at 89 and 104, I'll have a chance to add to my quarterback stack. Interesting. Oh, wow. Hochberg got CD, Bowers, McLaurin, Daniels. That is a hot fire start. Hulk smash potatoes got Nico, AJ Brown, Josh Allen. It's a weird pick to do Josh Allen there when you've got a pretty reasonable chance of getting Jalen Hurts coming back. I think it's more that Derrick Henry is 31 years old, and 31 years old is just an age where running backs. That's actually a good question. What is the best 31-year-old running back season in the last 20 years? Last 15 years. 2010 to 2024 running back. Let's look at biographical filter, age 31 to 32. And we'll go, over 200 rushes. And we'll sort in descending order by PPR points per game. Should be an interesting list. Peterson is definitely the number one answer. I can't believe this, dude. PGA National, Matt, is crazy right now. Insane, dude. I did an Underdog DFS pick'em with all lowers because I was just like, this is unbelievable. This golf course is They did not protect it. Wow, the Libs are going to make me take Joe Mixon. The Libs have won. Joe Mixon at pick 56. Genty, Mixon, Puka, Moore, JMO. All right. Let's share the results. Copy to clipboard. All right, these are PPR points per game. Running backs age 31 to 32. Raheem Mostert generated 17.8 PPR points per game. Fred Jackson, 14.6. D'Angelo Williams, 14.4. LaDainian Tomlinson, 14.4. Matt Forte, Frank Gore, Marshawn Lynch, Frank Gore again, and Thomas Jones. Two 1,000-yard rushing seasons there. 2 double-digit ones there. So not great for the 31-year-old 31-year-old running backs. Yeah, I guess Henry could. I mean, and Henry could score a bunch of touchdowns. It's totally possible. I'm not really on that wavelength, but that's just kind of the way I tend to draft, you know? Wow, I'm really going to go out of character here. And I'm going to, not out of character, out of build. I'm going to take Caleb Johnson. So we have Genty, Mixon, Caleb Johnson. So we got Genty after ADP, Mixon after ADP. So this should be a fairly unique build. No idea. I can look that up. NFL Next Gen Stats. Who was the fastest ball carrier in the NFL last year? Top plays, fastest ball carrier, Turpin, Brian Thomas Jr., Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley again, Nico Turpin again, James Cook, Jordan Addison, Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry down at 11. So Derrick Henry on his 81-yard rushing touchdown had the 11th fastest ball carrier speed. That was his one play inside the top 20. I mean, don't get me wrong. Derrick Henry can score 20 touchdowns and totally bury you. But I don't know. I tend to bet on history more than the average person. Which is, I don't know. It's probably why I lose. What can you do? Genty, Mixon, Caleb Johnson, Puka Nacua, DJ Moore, Jamison Williams. So I'm kind of down bad at wide receiver on this team. I guess by ADP there should be someone. This could be a Jacoby Myers-ass team, frankly. I would happily take Igbuka on this team. And I actually would happily take Jacoby Myers or Josh Downs on this team. Igbuka goes. Yeah, this is going to end up being a Josh Downs team. Yeah, notable lack of Tyreek Hill on that list. People are saying that more and more. All right, yeah, we are going to take Downs. Josh Downs. Welcome to the team. Josh Downs over Jacoby Myers, people are saying. I think it's actually very easy to justify being under on a guy like that, but it's just the pain is just so great. I think it's for most running backs who are past prime age curve, it's actually harder to justify picking them because you don't have examples of where you would have been right historically. But outliers are kind of what wins you the game. If you try and justify all of your decisions, if your heuristic for drafting is following the data, then you are going to miss things that are not in the data. All right, I'm not going to take Mark Andrews on this team because with taking Puka, you're kind of dead at quarterback a little bit. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I actually think I'm going to take Golden if 1 second doesn't take him. I'm not going to. All right, I'm going to take Hawkinson and add in another quarterback, potentially. So we go from the 8 hole, Puka Nacua, Ashton Genty, DJ Moore, Jameson Williams, Joe Mixon, Caleb Johnson, Josh Downs, and TJ Hawkinson. Montgomery would be the same spot. Montgomery was a 7th. Montgomery's basically going where he was at last year. Well, actually, what you're doing when you're doing things like that is you're contextualizing the entire modern history of the NFL, and you're saying, how likely is it? Because the thing with a guy over 28 is you actually are already doing survivorship bias where bad running backs don't make it to second or third contracts. Look at these guys: D'Angelo Williams, Fred Jackson, Marshawn Lynch, Matt Forte, Frank Gore, LaDainian Tomlinson. These are all great running backs. These are all guys who are, LaDainian Tomlinson, Hall of Famer. Matt Forte was a great running back. I believe Lynch will be close to a Hall of Famer. So you're already going past survivorship bias. So theoretically, if it was possible for 31-year-old running backs to smash, it would be fairly common because great running backs are the only guys getting contracts in their 30s. But again, he'll probably just score a bunch of touchdowns and, so be it. What can you do? I've taken Henry a couple times, and frankly, I think he's a terrible pick, but I cannot run back last season again. So I'll have 4% of these terrible picks. Montgomery was really good last season, but basically my opinion would be you don't put the genie back in the bottle. They lose Ben Johnson, and Montgomery is now to the aging curve area. Montgomery is going to be 28 years old. He is coming off of a season-ending knee injury that I think he very unwisely did not have surgery on. I think, Rusty, I would call this not seeing the forest for the trees. But sure, playing with running quarterbacks generally is an added beneficiary to running backs. By the way, I expanded the filter from 31 to 40, and there is an age 33 Adrian Peterson for the Commanders in 2018 at 33, 251 rushes and 1,000 yards. That's crazy. Adrian Peterson still getting it done. How long did he play? Adrian Peterson, first season 2007, final season, he got a rush for the Seattle Seahawks in 2021. I mean, that is just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. True. Yes. AP's 2,000-yard season was off an ACL tear too. Guy was a real. Yeah. Best ball is a game of pain. Now that I'm eating my vegetables with Henry, I'm gonna get owned by the Rasheen Ali year. It's so true. All right. I actually don't love Charbonnet in this build at all. I need a wide receiver way more. I actually think I'm gonna do Keenan Allen to theoretically add to the stack. Yeah, I'm going to do Keenan Allen and hope he comes back to Chicago. So we now have Caleb Williams potentially double stacked with DJ Moore and Keenan. We've got Genty, we got Joe Mixon, we got Caleb Johnson, Puka Nacua, DJ Moore, Jameson Williams, Josh Downs, Keenan Allen, and TJ Hawkinson. Well, then why did Adrian Peterson, after coming back, not do great again? So if Adrian Peterson is such a freak, why was he bad every year after his age 30 season? Because I would think if you're a freak, plain and simple, then you would just continue to be a freak, right? Because I think this argument, you can't have it both ways. Did Adrian Peterson get suspended? Yeah. Well, I don't remember what happened. In 2016, he only played 3 games. Then he played for New Orleans and Arizona. He was bad in the 3 games he played in 2016. I honestly don't remember what happened. It does feel like Achilles tears are still quite bad. Yeah. I remember this. Yes, of course, but I don't remember. It doesn't on Pro Football Reference when I'm looking at it doesn't list a suspension. It just shows he played 3 games and averaged 1.9 yards per carry. Right, but if he's a freak now, when does he stop being a freak? When does Derrick Henry stop being a freak, and how do you know? Do you just accept that you're going to take a bunch of a guy who is... Because a lot, like, look at guys around Henry. What's the risk? Okay, where did Henry go? So, Derrick Henry, what is his risk? I mean, actually, it's a very similar risk to McCaffrey, where it's all age-related decline. Henry has never had cheat days. Man, do I have to take Richardson here? Sidekick wants me to take Richardson. How early is this? It's pretty early. I'm actually going to take Bigsby. A little bit of added adult to the room. Yeah, this is basically my whole operational philosophy. I'll take massive losses, fading the old running backs to try and set ahead of the clock. I use the RotoViz box score scout, Austin. AP tore his meniscus in 2016. Well, there you go. Running it back this year after last year's debacle. I'm definitely not. I mean, like, in terms of projecting a guy, Barkley is just like a brutal pick where he's going, but no fucking chance am I loading up these streams every week and having people just being like, I can't believe you faded Barkley, dude. Can't believe you faded. You're such an idiot. I mean, LeBron has already stopped being a freak. LeBron's effectiveness, you know, there are things that LeBron does now that looks like Miami LeBron doing it in chainmail. The tush push will not be banned. 0% chance that the tush push is banned. All right, I am just going to get Richardson out of the way here. Pushed him around a turn, so we got Richardson and Downs with Caleb Williams. Barkley had a horrible peripheral season last year. This will be a fun filter to run. Saquon Barkley. So let's see, how many fantasy points did he score last year? Barkley scored 322 non-PPR points. This will be a fun filter. Season finder. Single seasons. Last 20 years. Since actually, let's make it more recent. So since 2015 to 2024, since the NFL went a little bit more pass heavy. Running backs. greater than or fewer than, how many targets did he get? Barkley got 43 targets in the race. So we'll go fewer than 50 targets. Fewer than 50 targets, fantasy points over 300. I wonder how many. Yeah, I was gonna say it's just Barkley and Henry. That's so funny. All right, let me open this filter up a little bit. We'll go. I'll go over 250 fantasy points with fewer than 50 targets. So since 2015, oh shit, wrong link. Share results. Copy to clipboard. Oh shit, I'm on the clock. Kyle Pitts? I don't know about that. Probably not, brother. I'll take Isaiah Bond, sure. Maybe last chance to take him before he runs a 4.3. So these are running back seasons, fewer than 50 targets, greater than 250 fantasy points. We've got Barkley season last year, Henry season last year, Henry in 2020, Zeke in 2016, Henry in 2019, Henry in 2022, Josh Jacobs last season, and Nick Chubb. I don't know. Basically, like, they're just, if you want to be a big Barkley guy, I mean, whatever. Like, the market has already decided. There's no point arguing about it. Barkley is the 102. If you want to draft him, that's where you have to draft him. And frankly, I think in Best Ball Mania, when we've got, all the normal people in there, I mean, there have been plenty of good running backs behind good offensive lines who have not scored. What did I just say he did? 300, and this is 322 non-PPR points, but I'm not overthinking anything. I'm just simply taking him. But he is just, I mean, it's we don't have to pretend that Saquon Barkley unlocked some mystery to fantasy football that was hidden before. He just busted off a lot of long runs. What do I need more? Running back or wide receiver? Algiers actually a good fit on this team. If he scores a bunch of long touchdowns again, then sure, he'll be a good pick. But the overwhelming evidence suggests that he probably won't, and that he will probably be a disappointment. The logic behind not taking Barkley as a Philadelphia Eagle last year played out perfectly. He did not get targeted in the passing game, and he did not get rushes at the goal line. He scored a bunch of long touchdowns. And if you score a bunch of long touchdowns, you're going to be a good pick in fantasy. I mean, yeah, but because this is how efficiency works. Since 2004, only 10 running backs with over 250 fantasy points in a season repeated at least that many points the next season, because it is hard to score long touchdowns. Obviously, Barkley is a great player, great signing by the Eagles, big part of them making and winning a Super. Actually, he did nothing in the Super Bowl, but was a big part of it. Yeah, I mean, I'm having a little bit less of Henry than the market, but Barkley, whatever. I'm not going to go through with that experience again. You just really cannot overstate how brutal it is to log on and do your dumb streams every day, and you just have to stare yourself in the face and be like, wow, you really were the absolute worst at this. Like, literally no one was worse than you. and it's just so terrible. Sure. Yeah, he will score a bunch of touchdowns. He won't get tackled on the one. Maybe. It's definitely possible to not get tackled on the one. All right, we've got Caleb, we've got Richardson. Is there any reason? Not really. The thing is, there's not really a reason to take Darnold on this team. Maybe I push it and just take Stafford and think he stays. What do you think that we are learning from Barkley's advance rate last year to this year? What is it that you think you are learning? Hunter Henry is just like a perfectly fine stopgap here, right at ADP. What is it that you think you are learning from saying that? So Barkley advanced 50% of the rosters he was drafted on last year. How does that help you this year? The cost is not the same. How does that help you? All right, so we have Caleb. We definitely need a third quarterback on this team. Caleb Williams, Anthony Richardson, running back room, Genty, Mixon, Caleb Johnson, Tank Bigsby, Tyler Algier, Puka Nacua, DJ Moore, Jamison Williams, Josh Downs, Keenan Allen, and Isaiah Bond. Tight end room of TJ Hawkinson and Hunter Henry. This seems okay. Could be better. Could be worse. I actually will take Stafford if he's here. I didn't see if he went. Okay, he didn't. What? I don't have very much of Sam Darnold. Sure, maybe Sam Darnold ends up quarterbacking. I should have done this. You're right. I should have done this. I should have stacked Puka with Rodgers. T-Bear, I love you, brother. This is quite literally being results oriented. This is, I mean, frankly, this is good. This is good advice. I mean, just in general, to add pieces from teams with elite offensive lines. Here is the issue with that. It is harder than you would think to project who is going to have elite offensive lines. This will actually be a good bit. 2024 offensive line rankings. So here you go. Let's pull this up from PFF. So these are the PFF offensive line rankings from last season. The Lions were good. The Eagles were good. The Colts ended up not being that good. The Browns ended up being awful, like truly, truly awful. The Jets were awful. The Falcons were okay. The Chiefs ended up being one of the worst offensive lines in football. The Bills ended up being good. The Steelers are fine. The Cowboys ended up being terrible. The Bears ended up being terrible. The Chargers were fine. The Vikings were bad. The Packers were fine. The Broncos ended up being great. So basically, I mean, you guys see from a quick scroll there, it's very hard to project who, in fact, the elite offensive lines are going to be. But yes, it's incredibly good advice, especially if you know. So like if beforehand you have a read, and that read ends up being right, you can get paid big time, big time. Brandon Thorne, he's got a Substack and he writes for ETR. I was trying to pull his rankings up, but I couldn't find him that quick. It's his rankings are quite good, but he runs into the same problem that everyone runs into. Some things you can't predict. Like, who could have known that Wanya Morris and Kingsley, I always mess up Kingsley's last name, so I'm not going to say it. We're going to be so bad at left tackle that the Chiefs would have to move Joe Thuney, a center, then a guard, to left tackle. I mean, no, like literally no one could have predicted that before the start of the season. All right, we have a 3-5-6-2. We need a wide receiver. Do I have a rookie wide? I got one. You know what? I am going to take Jalen Noel, though. They can't stop me. There we go. Blake says Seattle's offensive line will be massively better than last year. Right. Yes. 100%. Vikings offensive line was great. Both tackles got hurt. Then it was not good. 100%. That stuff just happens. We had a read that the Jaguars, Dolphins, and Browns align with all the late injuries would be terrible. I mean, frankly, I don't remember that. You're probably right, but I don't remember that. Who's the most likely player to go 1? It's got to be Gibbs. Yeah. David Montgomery gets hurt. David Montgomery stinks. David Montgomery, yeah. Gibbs feels like a huge favorite. Yeah, I agree to be the 101 next year. CD will be, what will CD be? He'll be 28. Might be hard to take CD 101 next year. No, CD will only be 26, so he definitely could be. Yeah. I don't have Adam, I don't have access to it in Missouri, but I gave out my top play is Golden lower than 4.41. If it doesn't hit, then Matthew Golden should hope that he's allowed to go back to school, because if Golden can't run a 4.4, he's dust. All right, we need one more running back. We have Genty and Caleb. You know what this team needs? This team needs Justice Hill. Sometimes you just need an adult. I think quite high. I think quite high that they're likely to take a running back. Other people have disagreed with me about that. But I think it's quite high, because that coaching tree, the 49ers, Shanahan, West Coast offense coaching tree, treats running back as a building block position. And Jalen Wright was bad for them last year. Mostert is gone. Jeff Wilson Jr., I assume, is gone. You know, I think it's, I mean, how many times have we seen actual Shanahan do this? How many times have we seen Mr. Shanahan himself spend premium draft capital? Many times. Many times. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mr. J Buck, that could be true. Brooks is he's a Packer, isn't he? Isn't Chris Brooks a Packer? Yeah, Chris Brooks a Packer, brother. Yeah. Speaking of running back being an important position, a guy from that tree, LaFleur, claimed Brooks. Brooks is a free agent now. Okay. I mean, they're not going to sign Chris Brooks. They'll just draft a guy. It pains me to say, Chad, but if the Jags take a running back, I think it's ETN to 0. He was so bad last year. I mean, maybe he was injured, maybe he's banged up or whatever, but man, he was dusty. Maybe they're both to 0, honestly. If Jaden Blue runs in a 4.3, it's going to be time to learn his name. That's for sure. You're very right about that. All right. Hawkinson and Henry, you definitely, I think, in my opinion, you definitely need a third tight end. That room. And we need one more wide receiver. Probably an adult wide receiver with this pairing. Let's do... Man, the adults are so bad down here. Trey Tucker, because Trey Tucker could end up playing with Darnold. All right, we've got it confirmed. Next Wednesday, we're doing the March Madness Best Ball on Underdog stream with my good friend Alex Harden, Fear My Turtle from ETR. So hope you guys tune in for that. So that'll be after the Davis and Liam show next week. And actually this afternoon, if you guys really like streams and like hanging out, I'm doing a members-only stream with Easy for the Dinger. So if you're looking to get into Major League Baseball, best ball on Underdog, that is coming up this afternoon for YouTube members only. This will be the 5th members only thing that I've done. But if you want the link to that, there it is. It is in the YouTube chat box. All right, final pick here. I took Helm last time. So let's take, I can't take Arroyo. Huh. I'm going to take Gadsden on this team, actually. Gadsden gives us a little bit of ceiling. He's fun. Caleb Williams stacked with Moore and Keenan. Richardson with Downs. Sam Darnold with either no one or Trey Tucker. Running back room of Ashton Genty, Joe Mixon, Caleb Johnson, Tank Bigsby, Tyler Algier, Justice Hill. Wide receivers, Puka Nacua, DJ Moore, Jameson Williams, Josh Downs, Keenan Allen, Isaiah Bond, Jalen Noel, Trey Tucker, TJ Hawkinson, Hunter Henry, and then I'm about to take a Rondé Gadsden. I can't take him because he already went. Can't take Arroyo because he was already drafted. I think the only actionable thing is that it sounds like there is I would say this, real possibility that Matthew Stafford is not a quarterback of the Rams. It's true. Darnold could also be with Hawkinson, theoretically. I think it's unlikely. I think I would assign 82% probability that I'm going to take a Rondé Gadsden. 82% probability that JJ McCarthy is starting game 1, week 1 for the Minnesota Vikings. That is my guess. All right, folks. We're going to do one more. Only going to do 3 today. T-Bear, how about the highest drafted Buccaneer, Rachaad White? Think that guy could be considered an underperformer? Were round 4 Rachaad White drafters happy last year? I'm gonna guess that people who trusted in the power of Liam Cohen, who drafted Rachaad White, were probably pretty disappointed with their investment. All right, let's go back into the lobby and let's feed the dog. Yeah, JJ is gonna be an awesome fantasy quarterback. That's true. It's true. ETN contract year. Yeah, he does. McCarthy runs a little bit. The 1-5. Perfect. What's for lunch today, boys? What are we doing? I just realized I am out of meal prepped chicken breast. So that is not great. I'm gonna have to go cook, which I hate to do in the middle of the day, actually. Out of protein bars too. So I'm really screwed. Damn, you guys are grinding. 93.7 ground beef and rice. Chipotle. God damn it, man. When is Chipotle sponsoring the stream? At Chipotle tweets, please, dude. I'm begging you guys. Sushi for lunch is crazy, Bindles. That is wild, actually. All right. Timestamp. This is, man, can you guys believe this shit? We are already at big board 85, dude. Big board 85 of 150. I'm going to have to chill out. We're going to have to slow these down. I'm taking CDO. Oh, no, I'm taking Gibbs. For sure taking Gibbs there. Gadsden is totally, yes, Gadsden is a wide receiver, man. Gadsden he's a tight end in name only. A Tino. Tight end in name only. Chilaquiles. Nightmare's got to make some chicken. Yeah, we're mostly friends and family here. We've got Mr. D's, we got Clay, we got Sticky Kush, we got Hulk Smash Potatoes, we got Peppertoni, we got Hochberg, the Sharkus, WD Sim 12. I swear WD Sim 12 is always in these. Sun-dried tomato chicken and rice. You love to see it. I have had RX bars. I don't love RX bars. They're fine. Sylvester can tell him. Sylvester, do you watch ADP chasing, brother? Burning Stool. I have very, very low expectations for Jake Burning Stool. He's fine. Whatever. I don't know. He's probably like Jeremy Ruckert or whatever. He can hang around in the NFL. I'm going to do a weird combo on this team, I think. Dang, I was going to take Bowers. All right, you know what? We're going running back. I'm sick of people saying my T is low. I am buying a little bit, Austin. I wouldn't say I'm buying it hook, line, and sinker, but I certainly believe after reading all this stuff from the combine that it is more probable than I did before. Is Jalen Warren actually a safe player, or does he give the illusion of being safe like Etienne and Brian Robinson's? So I think he's pretty safe where he's priced. If Jalen Warren got up into this range, the Judkins Connor range, but let's see, he's 15 picks after Tracy. You know, he's 12 picks after Judkins. You are concerned. I would be concerned though, if he got much pricier than that. I really don't care. I'm gonna take JSN here. JSN wide receiver 1. Surely that won't be fine. And let me explain real quick why I did that. I won't want to take Daniels even if he's there with the next pick because I am dusted at wide receiver. So, and if you take McLaurin, you are saying if Daniels is there, you got to do it. So I took JSN to give myself a quarterback and to allow myself to pass on Jaden Daniels. Because I like seriously. I probably will mostly not go back and look. My whole deal with drafting, and other people disagree with this, is I am very future focused. Once I've done a draft, that draft is over. I am on to the next thing. Like, the only reason I even looked at my teams last year that were advancing, that were not advancing, was for content. I mean, it's really the only reason was just to have stuff to put on the screen doing these shows. I 100% agree with this. It's sounding more and more like Najee. I mean, I've been saying it the whole time. People are going to be stunned with how much Najee Harris gets paid in free agency. Like, when Najee Harris gets the DeAndre Swift contract, the biggest Najee haters in the world, like me, are going to be like, holy shit, why would someone pay Najee Harris that much money? Also, this is like a giga piss boys room. I mean, look at this. We got Devonta, we got DK Metcalf at the turn. Like, there, like I think I did the I actually stand by that. Even if so, MN base, he's got a better team to take Jaden Daniels, and he should take Jaden Daniels. I don't know if he will, but my team would have just been killed at wide receiver had I done that. I think. Yes. No, I think there's enough. Like, you know, the NFL is pretty modern and advanced. You could see some of these teams being like, we're just not spending. Wow, he took Kyron. All right, stay woke, dude. Zay Flowers, welcome to the team, brother. I was about to pass on him, and I'm like, well, if you're just passing on him here, then what's the point? He might get him to. I was gonna say he might get him to push around. The McLaurin drafter might get him to push around, but it did not happen. Oh, my guy took Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. He's hitting him with the gritty. The gritty is being hit. Is DJ Moore underpriced? I don't know. I mean, in my mind, yes. But I love DJ Moore. The Vikings are not trading up. The Vikings only have 4 picks in this NFL draft. If anything, the Vikings are trading down. I'd be stunned to see the Vikings trade up. All right, so we have got Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zay Flowers. I'm really hoping I don't have to decide on Rashi because this is okay, I'm not going to have to because this is a brutal team for Rashi Rice. I'm going to take Pickens. So the thing with Rashi is you like him better in 0. 1, I have him ranked well after ADP. But the thing is you don't really want him as a guy who should be in your starting lineup in week 1 because he's not going to be. Why would you be scared of DJ Moore, Burden? Because you're scared of Caleb Williams? No, I believe Gritty owns I think he owns a tree cutting company. Some kind of manual labor company. He is a small business owner. But he is just a legend for basically drafting the funniest teams. Like he'll draft like 4 quarterbacks in the top 10 rounds and then like 3 tight ends. And he had I think he had like 60% of Quentin Johnson last year, so he advanced a bunch of teams. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, frankly, dude, don't you kind of like that from a wide receiver? It's a moving company. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. He really likes attention, but who doesn't? I really like attention. I'm fucking streaming. I try to make streaming my job. So how can I hate? Yeah, brutal DJ Moore reps with low effort. Frankly, can you really blame him? Can you blame? I honestly, I mean this in my heart of hearts. I really cannot blame him. I wouldn't want to try for that. If you know your coach, all right, I'm taking another burden. And this team just needed to court some volatility. Let me look at the lineups, bro. I like what's the name of their attacking midfielder? He has a Moroccan name. Bilal El Kanous. I like his higher shots. Lou. That's fair. That's fair. The thing is, though, is I think something I feel relatively confident in is that we kind of know that he can turn it off and on. More can. Yeah, Reed, this is the last one. I have some other work I need to get done. I got to take the dog outside. I'm going to be back at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central to do a dinger. All right, I took downs last time. You guys see that? Someone find Peter. Took Jacoby Myers. Yeah, dude, if Shane Waldron was my boss, you guys know how hard you'd quit if Shane Waldron was your boss, bro. You'd quit so hard. This is actually pretty big news. I have legit breaking news that is going to change my rankings. No, don't get these things all that often. But how about this? TCU wide receiver Savion Williams requested to also do on-field drills at running back during the combine. That is actually, I'm not kidding. I think that could be the biggest. That could be the biggest impact of the combine weekend is if a team drafts him as a running back, or a combo player. Because I think based on, and I obviously am not a genius film watcher, he looks better at running back. He's like 6'4". I did look this up. Do you know a guy who is 6'4" who is a really good running back? Latavius Murray was 6'4". Latavius Murray was super tall. And like, sure, for Latavius Murray was not awesome for fantasy, but he had stretches of being super useful. But he also, Jacobs was all, those are the two guys that showed up on my list. You know ball, Rusty. The two guys who showed up on the comp list. So this is a spot where I am comfortable drafting Jaylen Warren. This feels totally reasonable for him. A little bit after ADP as your third running back. And we'll see if I get boxed out here. It's a bad class for him to just be a running back. Pretty good to be a hybrid, though. Pretty good class to be like, I'll do whatever you ask me, coach. Pretty good class to be like, you want me to punt, you want me to return punts, you want me to return kicks, you want me to play on special teams, you want me to run the ball twice a game. Do you want me to be Kavonte Turpin, but huge? I legit think, I mean, I don't even have to say, I know I am moving Savion up in my rankings right now. I think Savion Williams as a running back is a pretty big deal in the context of the big board. Spags. Bro called me Spags, bro. I don't have any of these stacks lined up, but Goff and Gibbs actually, I think, is a legitimate stack. I took Goff there. I think Goff and Gibbs is a legitimate stack that could win. Jalen Hurd, but not made of glass. Yeah. Great energy with the ball, great traits and wingspan, kind of a bust. Yeah. 100%. You could very easily see Savion Williams literally never playing a snap in the NFL. Like, just some team takes him. You know who you could see him being? What was the name of the Raider? The third round pick for the Dolphins who never played. He was a quarterback at Kentucky. What was his name? Lynn Bowden. You guys remember Lynn Bowden? So Lynn Bowden gets drafted by the Raiders in the third round, never plays for them, gets traded before he ever got traded before he ever played a snap. Never scored. Actually, he never scored a touchdown in the NFL. Played for the Saints 2 seasons ago. Yes. That could be a reasonable comp for him. He was a bad person. Yes. Lynn Bowden was a bad person. Remember, he got in a huge brawl his final college football game. Lynn Bowden brawl. Huge. He threw a punch at a Virginia Tech player at the Belk Bowl. He got in a huge fight. Yeah. Oh, he's a great name for remember that guy. It was preseason. Maybe he threw one. No rushing or receiving. He threw for a first down for Miami in 2020 though. But anyway, Long way of saying a lot of range of outcomes for Savion Williams. He's on the DC Defenders. Stay woke. I think Huames, I think you probably know what Mason Rudolph said to Myles Garrett. I don't want to be prejudiced, but I think we probably know what Mason Rudolph said to Myles Garrett. Wow, you know what I would love to do on this team? What is more likely to work? All right, I'm going to do Love and try and push Kraft around. It probably won't work, but I'm going to try it. Marvin Mims at 97, brother. Someone knows ball. Scadaboo is coming up. Scadaboo, I think Scadaboo is coming up the board because Liam said his last name is Scatatibo. I think the whole reason, I think Liam came up with such a goated nickname for him that's why he's moving up. Scatatibo. All right, this team's kind of coming along. I probably should have taken Kraft first. Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Warren, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zay Flowers, George Pickens, Luther Burden, Jacoby Myers. I mean, he learned running back on the fly. The only reason they put him in at running back was, I did push it. Get Tucker Kraft. So the only reason Savion even played running back was all of TCU's running backs got injured. 2024 TCU CFB reference. So TCU starts out the year having, I believe Trent Battle was the second running back. And then they play this fella, Jeremy Payne. But how about this? On a team, this is crazy. This is the yards per carry of the other TCU running backs. Jeremy Payne averaged 4.4. Trent Battle, 4.2. Cam Cook, who led the team in rushes, 3.9. Savion averaged 6.3 yards per carry on 51 rushes. He also was fourth on the team in receiving yards and was second on the team in receptions. Oh, Spencer, brother. I'll tell you guys something. Spencer, if we ever get 1,000 members on this channel, and we're very far away from that, if we ever get 1,000 members, I will post a photo of myself in cornrows. Still had Trey Sanders. No, not subscribers, members. Members. 1,000 members. If we get 1,000 paid members of the channel, I will post. In fact, I will make it a thumbnail so it'll live forever. I will post a photo of myself with cornrows. And it will be on the thumbnail, and you'll be able to see it. Well, frankly, Dante, it's probably never happening. But the people who are watching this right now, there you go. That is an incentive for you all to work towards. Sidekick wants Ferg. I don't love it. This is just an annoying spot. I don't really like any of these picks. I hate all these picks. What do I do? What do I do? Oh, fuck. Fuck! That was... That does not happen to me very often. That's why you never tab off your rankings. Never tab off your rankings. You know what I did right there? I sorted by ADP. Why did I do that? Why did I sort by ADP? What was I hoping to gain from that? God. Malik Washington-ass team. I would have taken Loveland, but he was gone. Loveland would have been at the top of my queue, but he was gone. Never skip finger day, bro. That's true. Never skip finger day. And now I'm going to take Dontavian Wicks a billion picks ahead of ADP because I'm tilting. Hey, the guy who won the Fast Puppy last year... The guy who won the Fast Puppy last year drafted 4 quarterbacks and 4 tight ends on every team. So maybe I'm directionally on to something. Damn. Clay, I mean, frankly, embarrassing by me. That's on me, bro. I should have just let the sidekick pick for me. Or the draft caddy, honestly. Oh, you hate to see it. All right. How do you recover from that? I guess I try and get whatever rookie running back or wide receiver. All right, hear me out. This can work out. Tyreek Hill gets traded. And the Dolphins draft a running back, a rookie running back, and a rookie wide receiver, and I get both those stacks right. Or maybe Tua is an advance rate piece. Tua is an advance rate piece to get my Jordan Love, Dontavian Wicks stack in. You guys think I don't know ball, bro. I know ball beyond ball. This is actually going to end up being my best team. This is going to end up, you think that Justin Fields, who's not even going to have a job, Richardson, who's not even going to have a job, you think those guys are better picks than Tua, who's starting 17 games, bro? I'm playing 5D chess with you guys. That's what I'm saying, dude. He's gonna get me in. He's gonna get me in with 4 rushing touchdowns. You guys are tripping. And I'm about to take Jalen Wright. Damn. MN Base. He came in and he said, "You ain't shit." He said, "You are not shit to me, dude." You know what? The Dolphins are taking RJ Harvey. In the fictional universe where RJ Harvey is the Dolphin, I just won. The big board. That's all part of the plan. Tua getting the concussion is part of the plan. What you want, actually, hear me out. Tua's actually not the advance rate piece. He's the low owned piece. Tyreek Hill gets traded to the Packers for Dontavian Wicks and picks. Tua misses half the season with a concussion. He comes back in week 15 on this team and advances me to week 17 with Dontavian Wicks. Elijah Mitchell does not get drafted. Harold Fannin Jr. gets drafted by the Miami Dolphins. Bang! I have an advance rate piece now. Does Elijah Mitchell even have an ADP? He does. 239.9, Elijah Mitchell. All right. You guys like that? Harold Fannin Tua stack? You feel me? Who's a more... That's what I'm saying, dude. Fannin and Jonnu? I'm saying, bro. What do you mean, Justin? Oh, yes. Yeah, the little board will be full. The little board's going to be full by, like, March 8th, probably. Not for this team. I do not need RJ Harvey to be a Chief for this team, frankly. I need RJ Harvey to be a Miami Dolphin. Because he is the third running back on the Baltimore Orioles. I'm already thinking about baseball. The third running back on the Baltimore Ravens is not being drafted in the early 100s because he's unlikely to get a meaningful amount of work. Don't do it. Let's go. Savion Williams, Miami Dolphin. Light work. Savion Williams. No, I love Ashton Genty. I think Genty is a great player. He might be... Would you draft A-Chain in the early 100s if he projected for 42 rushes? It's true. It's me and Chad Candles are the biggest Dolphins fans in the world. Why would a team... I think the only team that is likely to draft Genty that already has a running back situation in place is San Francisco. Are you guys not woke to Savion Williams being drafted by McDaniels? Better Davis Cornrows challenge. X number of gifted Membies. Deal. I'll tell you guys a secret. I've had cornrows in the last, as an adult, not just in high school. I've had them once as an adult. I guess they were more like braids, but they were legit. Well, the thing is he's not a strict backup running back. Justice Hill just signed a contract extension and is likely to play on third downs. Malik Washington, bang. A quintuple stack. They never saw it coming. They never, ever saw it coming. Sickening. You think that Tua, Savion Williams, Harold Fannin, Malik Washington is not going to win the big board? You're crazy, dude. You're crazy. The room is shook. They just watched me do back-to-back picks of Harold Fannin, Savion Williams, and Malik Washington, and they said, dust. I don't think so, Adam. I don't think I ever would have had braids at that time in my life. Maybe like silly braids or something that like some girl put in my hair, but not like braids. And they said, who are those guys? It's true. I love projected points. Well, there might be a photo from college of me that exists with like braids, not cornrows. You know what I'm saying? Call an ambulance, but not for me. They did not know. They did not know about Malik Washington. Frankly, I probably am not drafting any biggest boards. I've got a lot of drafts to get done. And, frankly, I think they're planning on taking the deposit button away from me. You guys might not believe this, but the YouTube revenue streams from streaming fantasy football drafts in February, the revenue streams are not as high as you would think. I know it seems like I'm making millions of dollars in my basement here, but that is not the case at this moment in time. All right. Which rookie running back is most likely to be a Miami Dolphin? I would say Brashard Smith. Brashard Smith, you are a Miami Dolphin. It really depends, and it depends on your state, Kurz, where you get they do deposit bonuses state by state. What do you mean we're not mentally well to be drafting fantasy football teams in February? What do you mean, indeed? All right, we've got a classic 3-5-8-2 with Tucker Kraft and Harold Fannin, so we definitely need another. I would say if the Dolphins don't take Harold Fannin, yeah, Pete did 6. It's so true. Pete did 6 big boards, and he probably has the shipper. Almost for sure. They promoted me to GM of the Miami Dolphins. No, it won't. American taxes are always going to be unfair to gamblers. Hate to see it, but it is simply the truth. Gibbs, JT, Warren, Harvey, Brashard Smith. All right. Whoever was talking about Keaton Mitchell, there you go. There's a Keaton Mitchell pick. 221. Keaton Mitchell. Double GM. I am the owner and the general manager, the head coach, and the offensive coordinator. Instead of confirm, the deposit button says, "Are you sure?" Wow, stay woke. Stay woke, Spencer. Yeah. In Missouri, they were doing it they did it every Monday in January here in Missouri. Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Tua, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Warren, RJ Harvey, Brashard Smith, Keaton Mitchell, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zay Flowers, George Pickens, Luther Burden, Jacoby Myers, Dontavian Wicks, Savion Williams, Malik Washington, Tucker Kraft, Harold Fannin. Well, Elijah Arroyo went to the University of Miami, so I think that counts as a stack. In the United States of America, you are taxed 27% on gambling earnings, regardless of if it is your profession or if it's not. So, it's not a great system, frankly. Who took Arroyo? WD Simp, you should be ashamed of yourself. You just ruined my stack. Is there a tight end who went to the University of Miami, Ohio? Who went to the University of Miami, Ohio? Anyone? Who went to University of Miami, Ohio? College Football Reference. Do we have anyone from the 2024 Miami, or are they the Red Hawks? Are any of these players draft eligible? Is Javon Tracy or Reginald Virgil draft eligible? All right, I'm going to take Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor's dad, Jason Taylor, there we go. Mason Taylor's dad, Jason Taylor, played for the Miami Dolphins. Jason Taylor. They said that you couldn't backstack Tua Tagovailoa, and I looked at them in the face and I laughed. Look at these Tua stacks. We have Tua and RJ Harvey and Brashard Smith. We have Tua and Savion Williams, Tua and Malik Washington, Tua and Harold Fannin. They said it couldn't be done. The line is always there. You just have to have the courage to see it. Simple process.
The Davis Mattek YouTube channel is made possible by viewers like you. Every subscriber, memby, and super chat goes to ensuring Davis doesn't have to work at State Farm. Thank you.
You call it rationalization. I call it cold, hard facts, Kirk. Cold, hard facts. All right, boys. That is going to do it for me for about 90 minutes, and then I will be back with all of you who want to become members of the channel. If you want to support me and allow this to continue happening. Because believe you me, it is not assured. Tomorrow is not assured. Next year is certainly not assured. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Click the little subscribe button. And if you really want to hang out with me more in about 90 minutes, click the join button. I will be back drafting a dinger. I believe I'll be joined by Mr. Easy from easydfs.xyz. And I will see all of you back soon.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson,